Hey, my day is today. Are you going my way until the rising sun?
Hello, welcome to ZEN FEMME TV. I'm Corinne Elliott, creator of ZEN FEMME and CorinneElliott.com, where I help conscious creatives and soulful female entrepreneurs turn their passion projects into sweet, sustainable, passive prosperity online. Today, I'm talking about raising your vibrational frequency and what that actually means, how getting sucked into the disempowering beliefs in the soul-centered female entrepreneur community around Mercury Retrograde are taking you further away from source, and what you can do to bring yourself back to being the source of your life and business and taking responsibility for your success. So, first off, let me tell you about one of my absolute favorite quotes by Albert Einstein. Einstein said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you can't help but get that reality." This is not philosophy. This is physics. So when Einstein said this, it was a really progressive belief to have for his time. He knew and wholeheartedly believed that we were the creators of our reality and that we have total control over our emotions, the way we feel, and how that ultimately affects our physical environment as well as the people around us. So with that said, we can choose to believe what we want, and we can choose to surround ourselves with high or low vibrational thoughts and energies to direct our experiences. Sometimes it takes a lot of practice, but it is possible. Your first step is to become more consciously aware of your emotions, your thought processes, and the energies within your own body. And I'll tell you a bit about how you can do this in just a minute. So, moving on to Mercury retrograde. Excuse me. If you're a spiritual female entrepreneur and you've dabbled in astrology or metaphysics in some ways, you've no doubt heard about Mercury retrograde. It wasn't until I brought my business online and immersed myself into the conscious online entrepreneur communities that I began to dread Mercury being in retrograde. So even just a month ago, I found myself saying that I couldn't launch one of my projects until after Mercury retrograde was over, because if I didn't, then I'd surely fail after fighting the massive resistance brought on by Mercury. But once I got back in tune with myself, I realized that the beliefs some of us are taught to have around Mercury retrograde are kind of disempowering. They're kind of catastrophic, low frequency, and fear-based beliefs. So the Mercury retrograde event is energy, just like anything else is. And the more fear-based thoughts or beliefs we may have about it, the more low frequency experiences we'll have around it in our lives and in our businesses. Makes sense, right? So the good news is that just like Einstein says, we can choose what we believe. And I like to use this time during Mercury retrograde to remind myself that I am the source of my own reality. Even though I can't control what happens in the world, and I often can't control what happens to me, I can control the way I feel about it. That's key. So the way we feel about things determines our whole experience and our reality. So that's the most important. Tapping into and nurturing my inner guidance system is the way I practice that. And it does take mindfulness and practice, but the good thing is that you can take small steps to tune in, and once you get into the habit, it becomes like second nature, really. So one of the first steps is to track your emotions and find out where on the vibrational frequency scale you are. If I'm feeling low vibe emotions, I create a tapping script to handle any emotions that I prefer not to have sticking around for any longer than they really need to. So another step is to know your needs. As women, we have seasons and rhythms just like Mother Earth does. If we aren't honoring what season we're in, often when it comes to our menstrual cycles, for example, we're likely to have a futile fight ahead of us. This is why we experience things like PMS and disease in the body. And when we have these things, there's no doubt that our businesses are affected. So the cool thing is that instead of relying on things we can't change, like Mercury Retrograde or your astrological sign, for example, to determine our experiences, we can tune into and leverage our own inner guidance systems and use them to direct our own experiences. And when we know where we are, what experiences we prefer, like a happy home life or more success, for example, and we know that we have the power to work with our frequency to match the frequency of what we want, we're already more than halfway there. I've included, as a supplement to this video, 2 really cool printable PDFs that I know you're gonna love. The first worksheet is something you can print out each week and use again and again, and it'll help you track your vibrational frequency on a scale so you know where you are and where you want to be. The second worksheet is a list of things that you can do to raise your vibration and get yourself tuned into that frequency that you want so you can manifest what you want and kick those fear-based beliefs to the curb. Now, these 2 printables are only available for free this week, and then they'll be taken down to become part of my paid program that goes deeper into this topic and how it relates to passive income creation. So to get the printables, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and go to zenfemme.co/free PDF and sign up to get updates and any free printables that I release to help you create soul-aligned passive income as a conscious and creative female entrepreneur. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of ZEN FEMME TV, and I'll catch you next time. Lots of love. Bye.